predicted we're live? Did you get
Yes.
Rob locked in his dungeon? Okay, good. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Reach Out Reptiles. My name is Garrett Hartle, and we are here to hang out with you guys live. I don't know if you know it, but every week you can ask questions. We put up a community post here on YouTube where we ask for the questions that we want to discuss next week. So we're actually going to go through those questions, and this week we actually have some additional questions from our Patreon members. So we're going to go through that, and at any time you guys want to jump in and ask your questions, feel free to hit the super chat button. Let us know. We will do a silly dance for you, or you can do the silly dance for everybody else if you're a silly dance kind of person by taking a short video of yourself doing a super chat dance, whatever. It's very interpretive. You can make it whatever you want. Oh, Jess is here today, by the way, too. I love it. It's exactly the same reaction every time. It's perfect. And for those of you guys
you got
who
a super chat already.
All right. Let me show you what these super chat dances look like. I got one from Mr. Lucas Bissett and his son just moments ago. Check it out. Here's a super chat dance for you. Woohoo! Thank you, thank you. Oh man, that would hurt my back. I'm glad we have some younger audience members that help us out with this stuff. So yeah, if you guys want to text in a little one, 412-925-1933, you can text that in to me, and I will try to feature it tonight or save it for next week or whatever. What's our super chat, Jess?
Christopher Sexton, how do I get on the list for a baby from Nathan Cat's Clutch?
Shoot an email to info@reachoutreptiles.com. We recently kind of finished sorting out everything that clutch is, and they are phenomenal. And there's probably not a whole lot of females to go around, although there's a couple of, there are some nice females, and then there's some crazy like 4 or 5 gene males in there too. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, we actually showed every single one of those babies on last week's live, so you can check them out. Beautiful snakes, 50% super dwarf plus an additional 18.75% jamp, all 100% head snow, sun, platy, tiger, golden child. There's everything in there. It's great. So yeah, shoot us an info at reachoutreptiles.com email, and we'll get you up.
So we're going to start with Ryan Hood.
What's up, Ryan?
He wants to know about misrepresentation on sites like Morph Market, and can you discuss some of the giveaways that the information on a snake may be wrong?
Jeez,
what should they be looking for?
That's a really good question. That's a pretty loaded question. There's certain things, like, for example, somebody had bought. So, for those of you guys that don't know why Ryan is asking this, Dwarf and Super Dwarf Retics are one of the most misrepresented animals anywhere, and a lot of people are trying to label correctly, but they're misinformed on how to do it. And then there's other people that are trying to just like stretch the truth or make it as good as it possibly can to sell you a snake. Either way, if someone is doing either one of those things, I don't know if that's the breeder you really want to partner with to build your foundation for breeders moving forward. But certainly there are a lot of good breeders out there. A lot of them have been featured on like Talk 'em Up Tuesdays. If you watch a playlist on this channel, you can find a lot of those guys there. But if you were to go to a random classified things like Morph Market, the first dead giveaway that somebody is trying to sell you a little bit more than they're actually delivering on, or otherwise they're gonna probably overpromise and under-deliver, is if they have something that's less than 50%, let's say whatever locality, if it's dwarf or super dwarf.
Oh, you got another super chat.
So if it's like 25%, woohoo!
This one
Kalatoa,
says, dance, Garrett, dance,
and
so
it
you
says,
can't get out of it.
This is it. This is it. I'm dancing already.
That was from John Feely. He says, hope
Thanks,
to see
John.
you soon, buddy.
That would be great. Go to NARBC. I'll be there this weekend. But if someone's calling something like low percentage, less than 50% a super dwarf, they're trying to slap a super dwarf label on something that they didn't actually put in the breeding and the bloodlines. They didn't bother with having good genetics in the beginning. They did it kind of a quicker, easy way, but they're still trying to gain from selling that to you. So that would be one way. A second way, like, I don't know, for me, the way I pick them out is most of the stuff that's mislabeled is impossible. So like I've seen anything from Super Dwarf Pieds, which don't even exist yet, offered for sale. Someone said they're buying a pair of snakes that was 75% Selayer locality phantoms produced by me like 3 years prior. I've never made anything like that. I don't think anyone's ever made 75% Selayer phantoms at all. And they go, oh, well, then they must be from you and they must be Kalatoa. The buyer was saying, and I'm like, look, man, if they're wrong on one point, they're wrong on all of it. They're lying to you and name dropping so that they can sell you a snake. There are very few animals, 75% anything phantom out there. So all that kind of stuff. Ooh, I got a super chat texted in. Thank you, Danielle. Right on. Okay, let me save this one. So that would be a dead giveaway, is like some of it's impossible. Price being too good to be true. Some of the percentages, like it's common to see something that's like 25, 50, 75, and then there's other percentages in between, like 62.5, 37.5. But when you start getting weird percentages, like, oh, it's 70% super dwarf, those percentages aren't really all that easy to make. They're either rounding or guessing or estimating or whatever they need to do to, again, get that snake sold to you. So I don't know. Here's the honest thing. If you're new and you're a beginner, you really want somebody in your court who's helping you get the right genetics. You don't want to have to be so educated about something that you can go out there and fight against all the people who are trying to misrepresent stuff. So more important than ever,
Super
when
chat.
you're new, here it is. Woohoo! Oh yeah. Oh man, we got some breakdancing going on in here. I love it. Yeah, when you're new, I would just say go to a good breeder. I mean, like, I don't know. I really don't know how to name drop when somebody comes and says, hey, you're a breeder. How do I buy from other breeders when they're always trying to rip me off? It seems like the common sense thing would be like, if you're here and you like us and you're learning from us, you can support us with your money. We'll support you with your with the product, the animals, our knowledge, whatever. And that's a win-win. So I don't quite know how to answer these things about how do I buy one from someone that's not you when they're constantly trying to rip me off. Not that everybody is. Yeah, I don't know.
How about Zach Bell's super chat?
Yes, thank you.
The ambient temperature of my house is 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Is that too cold for a super dwarf? And if so, do you recommend I get a radiant heat panel?
Yes, 71 is too cold, but actually that's a great house temperature to be keeping super dwarves at. You just have to add a heat element, because if you're at 71, by the time you set up a cage and you add a heat element, probably the cooler side of your enclosure, unless it's a massive enclosure, is going to be closer to like 74, 75, 76, and that's a good range for super dwarves to be at. So yeah, you're definitely gonna have to get like a radiant heat panel is one way for big enclosures that works well.
The hot end should be what?
85? The hot side. So like if you're going with a temperature gradient, you want about a 10-degree difference. Like 76 to 86 is great. You can go a little wider. Like if you go a little cooler on this end, but you're also hotter over here, you're okay, and that's fine. But if you can get the cool end around 76, the hot end around 86. That's magic. And then you can go a little bit more as long as you're branching out in either direction.
So these are Stacy and Paul's snakes.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you owe her a super chat dance. She had to pay. No, from you. I promised her.
No, what? Come on, you can't make up rules.
I did. You weren't there.
I promised her it would be from you.
You weren't there. I'm holding the snakes. I'm busy. She had to PayPal her super chat because it wouldn't work on her phone.
She PayPal.
She did. And she wants to see your snakes, so get dancing.
Stacy and Paul have a pretty nice collection going, and they really like the Kayuadi stuff specifically, platinum, which is kind of cool. It's a locality that's out there, but you just don't see it a whole lot. They're very small and they're very colorful. They're quite different from kind of like the small 3 super dwarves, which would be Kalatoa, Madu, and Karompa. But the way that they're different, they're usually a little bit bigger. I mean, in this, we're making generalities because there's certainly Kayuadis that are just as small as anything else, but they're almost always way more colorful. So this is what a platinum looks like on Kayuadi. Holy smokes. You can see what I'm talking about, like that crazy rich orange color and everything from this thing.
This is what.
And then this would be a Sunfire Tiger. Now this one is from that clutch they were asking about, the Chris was asking about, the Nathan Katz clutch. Tiny little guy. So this one is Kalatoa and Jampea and a Sunfire Tiger. Beautiful. You can tell it doesn't have the same kind of like color tone as the Kayuadi does. Obviously they're totally different morphs too, but man, super cool. And this guy's a Sun Tiger. He's 100% het anery and purple albino. So pretty killer pairing. And this one possibly het anery as well. So very cool. Yeah. Thank you guys, Stacy and Paul.
Let me go
All
back
names
here.
out. Go to Garrett Hartle. He's the best. Thanks, Tasha.
Oh, is that Tasha? She wants to see yours too. I missed her comment last one.
Oh, coming up.
So I'll go grab that. Anna Kevlin wants to know, who do you feed first, adults or babies? She had a couple questions. I'll read them. How close to the original body temperature of the prey items do you have to get? Let's see. There's a few questions. Yeah.
All right, hold
Let
on.
me
So
start
who
with
do you
that.
feed
I'll put
first,
these back.
babies or adults?
babies?
That's, I don't know. That's a Rob question. That's more of a scheduling than anything else. I don't really have I don't even know that I understand that question entirely. So I don't know. Babies get fed here like currently like 3 times a week because we have so many hatchlings on different schedules and stuff like that. Adults, there's 1 day a week that we feed, but not every adult gets fed that day, if that makes sense. So let's see here. I need my super chat. Here we go. Oh, here's one for you from Finley. This is my guy. Ooh, hold on, I think I got super chat. Yeah. Good timing there. So very cool. All right. So let's see. Theron wants to see the male he claimed today, he says.
Grab it.
Yeah, could bring that one out. Richard Bilbo's in the house. What's up, Zach Nava? How you doing? Lee Varner is in here. Lee Varner has, so like I know everybody's going to ask me about the Nathan Katz clutch because they have the Golden Child stuff in there. But all the Golden Childs that are for sale are like visual anery, het snow, super expensive. Like, you know, I don't know about super expensive, but like if you're looking for a Golden Child female, they're like $3,000 and up from that clutch from Golden Child stuff. So I will give my man Lee Varner a shout out here. He has got some phenomenal little Super Dwarf Golden Child stuff for sale right now. For all of you guys that feel like you really don't want to support Reach Out Reptiles, but you need to know who Reach Out Reptile likes out there. Lee Varner. I like that guy. And he has some really cool, very affordable, super tiny line Golden Child stuff for sale right
This
now.
is Tasha. She commented last week and I missed it.
What's okay, Tasha. Wow, this is
from
cool.
Rob's
It's obviously super in blue. Is this just a wild type?
Yeah.
So this is the Kayuadi. This is a sibling to, look at those silver side spears, to the one that we just showed, the Kayuadi. You can see the gold and that silver. So these are Kayuadi and Jamp. But look at the pattern. Like, it's got so much color in here on the tail that I was like, what the heck kind of morph is going on there? It's not. It's just phenomenal locality influence. Deep in blue. But look at the, I mean, it almost looks like it's got like a head anthrax look on the tail. Look at the very reduced neck pattern. And then these crazy like tiger shark side marks. Again, deep in blue, so you can't see the color at all, which is a shame because they're pretty. Theron Lance, big belly crew right here. Look at this. So this is another one of those babies, the Sun Tiger, another sibling to Stacy's, but this is a Platinum Sun Tiger Anery. I'm actually pretty sure Paul and Stacy looked at this one before you did there.
That's a really nice one.
Yeah, so he's got all of it. He's got every morph that was in the breeding with the exception of Golden Child. Visual antler. You can see all like, I don't know how well it turns up, but like the back of him is purple. It's like a pink purple color.
Yeah.
Really cute on these babies. And these sides are going to be vibrant highlighter yellow
That's
green.
the color Penelope was when she was born.
This is very similar to Penelope.
I know.
She was. What was she again? Was it Sun Platyanary? I think it was Sun Platyanary.
I think so.
Yeah. So very similar. That's the tiger gene. And Penelope was stripy. So kind of looks like Penelope. I get to hear about Penelope all the time because apparently I was not supposed to sell this snake.
Apparently, it was such a secret. Apparently.
I'm not allowed to sell any of my employees' favorite snakes.
Exactly.
Not that they paid for them. Or
I
anything,
told you.
Just that they're not allowed to sell them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. What's next?
I'm glad you understand the rules now.
There you go, Theron. Here's your super chat. There's your baby.
Okay, let me find another. Ben Horton wanted an update on the year-old Jampeas.
Oh, we'll have to go pull one of those up. You guys want to see Rob working away back there? I don't know if you noticed, but he's got these crazy contraptions now. We got these cool new tubs from Freedom Breeder. These are the exact size of our Vision tubs, but they have pre-punched ventilation holes and a cup set in there. So I bought a bunch of these, and we love them. The only problem with cup holders, which are great because the snakes don't flip them anymore, is how do you put a flat piece of paper in there? It's awesome if you want to use chunk substrate, but we use paper. So we built this little thing with this and that, and we made a bunch of this so that we can accomplish. Look, there's Jessica. That was not quite the same reaction. So over here we have a little tub kingdom. You look like you're like a little Lego man going, everything is awesome, living between these two little Lego towers over here.
Have you ever seen a little Lego man just like freak out?
Is that where you're at right now, Rob?
No.
Oh man.
It's just a fun job.
So it's getting a little crowded because we have babies to put away. I'll even show you some of them in a minute, but these are new racks that he built. We've got 3 baby racks here. You can see those things going into use, those new tubs. We stuffed 1 rack out here on the side for some of our fun house snakes. We got our other 3 racks there. What's this one?
This is Wendy's copycat.
Wendy's snake. So this is another deep in blue. Look, you can see his eyes are all hazy and his color's all blah. He's about to poop all over. Here, you better hold him. Wendy, there you go. Beautiful. Now that's got to be a platinum out of that clutch. Yeah. Is that a male from the Kayuadi clutch? Yeah. Awesome. Good choice, Wendy. I think we have a couple more of those.
She saw that on the website and was like, I have to have that one.
Did she?
Yeah.
They're beautiful. They're Kayuadi crosses, like Sun Platy, and they got a bunch of Jamp in them. This is a yearling Jamp. So Jamps, not too shabby on their own. These hatched, everyone's like, oh, they're so boring and brown. And I was like, no, you guys don't understand. You just haven't seen a Jamp baby in over a decade. These are the best looking locality, in my opinion, and the nicest for crosses. So the mom of all those Kayuadis was a Sun Platy Jamp, 50%. We bred it to a pure Doc Murdoch line. Zach said you should have saved Rob a little bit of work and let that snake poop in the trash. But look at that. Those vibrant colors coming in. Super nice. I love those crazy silver side spears. Maybe that's why that one normal we looked at is looking that way. Sorry for the poopy cage, everybody. Rob, could you get to work a little bit harder, please? This cage is poopy.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to take another break.
I've been messing with Rob all day. He's been busting the butt. He's actually gets off at 5, and we're now an hour or something past that. So, watch yourself. So that was the gym. Oh, I was gonna show you guys these. Here, do you want to get that light on, and then we'll switch? So I don't know, Tristan, if you're watching, but he's been texting me about
His comment, he's one of the comments. He wants to see the marbles.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're jumping ahead. So these are fun. Oh, let me see if I can make some room. Rob, it's really messy over here.
Thanks.
This is a clutch. These are actually the first Karompa crosses ever made in the U.S. We took a 50% Kalatoa, 25% Selayer, and we bred it to our wild-caught Karompa male under very close what do you call it? Supervision. Thank you, brain, for kicking in there.
What?
Supervision. I want to show you guys some of these. These are the normals. Now they still have their egg skin on. They haven't shed, but these look better than most of my pure Karompas. Look at the crazy patterns. They've got the little rosette within a rosette that I love. Total busted neck pattern. The cool thing about Karompas, they're like 3 snakes in one. Major like spiky bleed downs. And then see the little black shadowing in between? That's one of my favorite traits that a lot of Karompas seem to have. And these guys have a ton of it. So those are the normals, you guys. And then we bred it to a marble, which I was just kind of like, hey, what locality would be best? So, and we've got a ton of variety. So you can't see a whole lot here, but this one's very striped. That shadowing is throughout this whole stripe. Look at that. I usually don't like striped out marbles, but these are cool. See the dark shadowing? It's hard to see through egg skin. This little girl is cool because she's got the speckling up at the neck, and then the middle half of her body is striped, and then the back half goes back to a Karompa pattern, bust through the marble. Show me one of the speckly ones. Like these ones. Yeah, there's one. Yeah, this is what I like. Totally speckly. Absolutely just blasted through. And then look at this tail pattern. Remember I was showing those bleed downs and the shadowing? The whole saddle part, inner part, is shadowed out. Isn't that crazy? They look like 90-year-old hatchlings, says Duran.
They're so wrinkly.
Man, Duran, I shipped your snake out today. I was so sad. That girl is looking amazing after a couple of meals. So anyways, these guys need to shed. Watch out, little one. Get down there. That's another nice one. Yeah, another cool speckly one. Check it out. Ooh. Little stripe and speckling going in there, but the tails, the Karompa tail pattern on the marble. By the way, the Karompas have like double the number of saddles. Look at that thing. Is that sick or what? So Karompas have like double the amount of pattern that a normal snake has, and then when you take something like marble, it's on there. I saw someone asking about house snakes. We'll pull one. Hey,
You get a super chat.
That was not a super chat.
You have a super chat.
Woohoo! Rob, you want a super chat?
No, man.
Yes, he does.
You have
always
2
wants a
super chats. You
Here.
miss super chats when you're
Here's
holding
one
the
of the house
camera.
snakes. We don't show them off a lot. Plus, we have a whole lot more
Bring it
coming.
over in the light.
Yeah. This is our T-negative albino, 50% KwaZulu-Natal locality. So you can tell why I like them. They're kind of like super dwarfs. They're like itty-bitty super dwarfs. Check that out. Anyway,
Oh,
that was
that's
a preview
fine.
for you.
So the first super chat that you missed,
Yeah.
Scottish Rob,
What's up, Scottish Rob?
he says,
Super chat.
can't hang today, unfortunately. Glad you had to check out Phoenix Herpetological Society.
Oh, man. that place
Sanctuary,
was
best
crazy.
to all ends.
Yeah, if you guys are ever in
Um,
Phoenix area, definitely
There's
check out
another
that
one.
Phoenix Herpetological Society. It is pretty crazy. Sanctuary. sorry.
Sanctuary sit around.
It's pretty crazy.
There's another one from Zach Bell.
All right.
He
Oh.
gets a dance.
Oh. All right. Wait, did I show the one? Did I show this one yet? Pretty sure I did. Lucas Bazette.
Yeah, you can't use them twice.
Yeah, it's so good though. Look at them go. Here's my super chat dance in the back for you.
You have to copy his dance. How about
Oh
that?
no, that'd put me out.
Zach
what's up,
Bell,
Zach?
he says, I checked with Kim last week, but have any clutches with wild type males that will get about 8 feet hatched since this thing keeps disappearing?
Yeah, so we've
When will some become available?
we've actually had like 8 clutches hatch that have a bunch of wild types. We had some of those Kayuadi ones. They'd probably be about that size. But those ones sold out. So let me see. I'm looking at my cheat sheet here. I've got, Theron Lance, who is on here. He's got some wild type males. They're 50% Kalatoa, 50% het amelanistic. Those are going to be 8-foot males. They're $500. I have 2 of them. So if you want to shoot us an info at reachoureptiles.com thing and say, hey, I heard about the het males. We need to still get most of them eating, but it would be a good idea to reserve one of those now. We have a couple of other super dwarf clutches and things like that with some crosses too. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with those Karompa crosses. They are really cool. I think just because they are so high percent super dwarf, they're 75% super dwarf and 12.5% dwarf, and being from the Karompa and the Kalatoa, they're just really unique. So if anyone wants, like, I mean, I would call them like the poor man's Karompa, except they look better than a lot of the pure Karompas. Like, just mixing the bloodlines up a bit, like, exploded those Karompa traits on a lot of them. So some of them are phenomenal examples, but they're not pure Karompas. They're a far cry from it. But I'm thinking maybe, like, I don't know, a little bit less than $1,000, maybe $950 each for a male. So if you were like, oh man, I want the Karompa look, I want the Karompa, maybe not quite the size, but very close, that would be a pretty killer animal to do. So I'm not selling any females. I love that bloodline too much. I'm going to keep them all for myself. I will sell marbles. Those are not going to be $950. Those will be more. But the wild type male crosses, maybe $950. I don't know how many of those are males yet. But that's what we're thinking. So I think we have a couple of other normals too in the $400 range. So, but if you want really good small stuff, the AML line is super tiny. From some of my favorite snakes, those Karompa lines will be really tiny too. So, yeah.
Tristan asked, besides humans, are adult dwarfs and SDs the apex predators on the islands?
I think the islands are probably each a little bit different, but there are water monitors there. So water monitors would easily take down an adult super dwarf. So no, they are not. That's kind of funny because their heritage would be probably a larger size retic, which would be an apex predator wherever it lived. And then they shrunk down in size and they changed that, they exchanged that, that apex predator status for small size and survivability. So now I don't know if that's true of every island. I don't know where all the water monitors are and stuff like that. But
He also asked, with wild-caught pure localities being quite difficult to breed, how easy is it to breed captive-born babies that you raised up?
Way easier. I mean, anybody that's ever tried to breed a wild-caught reptile of any kind can tell you that they're super challenging to breed for the most part. But the captive-bred ones, especially if you buy a baby, like a lot of times people try to buy a proven adult or whatever and skip a few years. But the truth of the matter is you don't know that animal. It doesn't know you. It takes some time to get established with you before it wants to breed anyway. We were talking about those het males from Theron. I had that female for close to 2 years before I got her to breed over here. She wasn't quite ready to breed anyways. But, I mean, if you get a baby and you just spend the time falling in love with the animal and get to know everything about her, it's going to be pretty easy to breed, especially if you do a little bit of homework.
One of our Patreon questions was from Rachel Mills. She has female versus male adult attitude for retics with examples. I guess she wants to just know the difference between females and males.
So most of the time, it really is not about females or males. Kind of like humans, like who's nastier, males or females?
Males, for sure.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything. So males have a little bit different temperament in another way sometimes. Not gonna say anything in the presence of a female for fear. But no, I mean, I think a lot of it is much more down to the individual animal. There's a reputation. I think people make light of adult male retics. And so what you get is this imbalance of information. You have a lot of breeders saying, oh, you know what, you can get a mainland. Don't worry about getting a dwarf or super dwarf. Just get a male. They stay a little smaller and don't feed it a lot. And that's pretty terrible, like, first big pet snake advice, because, I mean, first of all, you're condoning stunting an animal's growth. That's not the way you should impact their size they get. It's by controlling their food intake. You want to give them prime nutrition all the time and let the genetics take care of the rest. But secondly, males in breeding season can be, I don't know what the word is. It's like protective over females that they're breeding with, right? And so if you're breeding retics, or if you have that kind of thing, or that male, just has some kind of, like, it's not common, but if a male gets triggered some
Super
way
chat.
in like a territorial breeding type of a thing, the male's teeth are anatomically different than the females, and they can bite and then twist like this and cut you. Whereas normally, like, I've taken thousands of bites from, large retics, and I have little to no scars to show from it, because even the big snakes have little tiny pinpricks. But a male retic can flay you open from a large mainland, and so a lot of people warn against that. Now, if you're talking about a super dwarf male that's like the size of a big bull snake, or basically a ball python size, maybe a little longer and leaner, I don't think that's an issue. I mean, if you had the super nasty, mean ball python, would you be worried about it being a physical danger? Probably not. So I think you're gonna have a lot more to do with individual temperament than sexes, and the only time that that's an exception is during breeding season, and the females get very grumpy as well when they don't want to be touched, or they're ovulating or whatever. Like, guys, you know what I'm talking about. But it's more like a snap, get back kind of thing, where a male retic will bite and combatively twist. So what you're talking about is that's something we may experience as we're breeding in here, and we know our animals because we raise them from babies, so we're very comfortable with their attitude, and we pay attention to how they're acting. And if they're acting weird, retics are very communicative about, I don't want to be touched right now. So if you raise honestly, guys, if you get babies and you raise them yourself, they're pretty easy to handle, and you learn a lot about your snake. They take a long time to grow up. You saw that Jamp. It's one of the bigger dwarf localities. It's still very manageable after a year and a half. So
Ryan Cox had a super chat.
Ryan Cox, super chat. Let me see if I have one. Oh no, nobody texted 412-925-1933 with the super chat dance for me to use. So I'll have to do this. What's up,
And
Ryan?
you have another super chat.
Well, I can't do them all at once.
One at a time. I'll read the
Watch.
question.
Look at, do this little
It's
lady.
not on camera though.
It's like the river dance. Trust me. Top. See? Super chat. What's up, Ryan
I don't know
Cox?
if that counts.
412-925-1933. Help a guy out.
He says, you have any tiger stuff hatching this year? Looking for something to do with Frankenstein stuff.
Oh, tiger stuff. Yeah, we actually have. So, I mean, we have a ton of tigers. I've got some 50% Kalatoa tigers. We have a bunch of like Kalatoa Jamp tigers. Those are probably, like, if you're doing Frankenstein stuff, some of those Kalatoa Jamp tigers are crazy. If you want recessives in there, some of the Anery tigers are really nice. Let me show you some of the, like, I've got super tigers as well if you don't want to miss. Let's see if we can bother Rob to pass out a nice tiger. Rob was showing me some of the nice tigers on the bottom of this rack earlier. Hey, Rob.
Hi.
How you doing?
Oh, fantastic.
All I hear is like moving back here.
I don't have time to stop.
You're stressing me out. Could you slow down a little bit? Jeez.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
These guys and their work ethic around here, it's ridiculous. Let's see, we're down here. Is the bottom there? Oh, that was a solid black snake. I don't want that. I don't really want everyone to see that. Oh, crap, another solid black one. Shoot. Where's the tigers? I'm looking for something simpler. No. The cool tigers. I was just labeling. Yeah.
Right there.
Where? No, those are the super dwarf. I want the dwarf super dwarf.
Well, I can't.
All right, here.
You think I know where they all at?
There's a female. That's a 50% Kalatoa tiger. Cool dorsal stripe. No, I just saw them down here. And at first I thought they were motley tigers because there was motley in the breeding. And the pattern is so disjointed on them that at first glance I thought they were motley tiger. I'm like, oh, no, wait, that's just a tiger.
You ever watch Friends?
I don't know what you're going to say, but this is live, so just leave it.
You know what family is? Could you be any more in the way?
Oh, that's appropriate for a live.
Yeah, I'm an appropriate guy.
I could probably be more in the way if you want to see it happen.
Ooh, okay.
So yeah, we have tigers. Let us know what you want. Shoot us an info at reachreptiles.com. We'll get you set up. Oh.
You have a second super chat.
Second super chat. Haha, Natalia came through.
Aw.
How does your baby laugh so much? Mine just cries and vomits. Thank you. Good super chat. Start them early. All right, what's up?
Ryan Gottlieb.
Yep.
I have one of those male J. Reed 50% Kalatoa aneries. What would you personally get from your current or upcoming available animals as a female for him?
It's a visual anery, huh? It kind of depends on what you want to do. We have a really nice lavender 100% head anery that's like Kalatoa Jamp, pretty high percentage from a Richard Bilbo clutch that's phenomenal. Excuse me. She would be super cool. Oh man, some of those Kayuadi Sunfires that are posset anery in there are stupid good looking. So if you just want to make a crazy anery sun, we've got those. But if you want to keep it over 50% super dwarf, because you have the visual anery, I mean, I have some super tiger females that are super nice. Tiger, motley tiger. I think I have one motley tiger posset anery and albino female. That would be really cool. Or you could start a new project with the visual amel. Because I think people have now made double hets for amel and anery, but nobody's made a visual. I guess that would be called a blizzard, not a snow. So that would be something cool. I'd love to see what those amel eyes look like in anery. So yeah, honestly, there's a lot of different directions you can go with it. I like the Sunfire stuff. So those Kayuadi Sunfires are like loaded with color. They're posset. So you have a chance of making anery suns at one go. Those are super cool. I do have a Sunfire Platinum Tiger female that's Dwarf and Super Dwarf cross. Posset anery as well, if you just want to put every codom in there at once. So that's what I would do. That actually probably is what I would do. Load them up with all the cool color stuff. So, yeah.
Spencer Vance was asking
What's up, Spencer?
about what hatchlings you'll have available over the coming months. And he said he loves the breeding page, but just an update on that.
Well, like I said, we hatched like 1 million clutches, so we're taking pictures of every baby. Jess was coming in today. We were gonna upload a whole bunch of them and get them, but they still haven't shed yet. So we're like literally on it, until they shed. Stuff that's upcoming. We have Motley Golden Child stuff. Some of you might have seen some hanging out back there that are just now starting to shed. Obviously, we've got was it Spencer that was asking?
Mm-hmm.
Some of that marble stuff is pretty crazy, the marble Karompas. Spencer, you should probably get in on that Nathan Katz clutch, some of that Golden Child stuff before it's too late, because those are going to go pretty quick. So anybody that's interested in that, info@reachoutReptiles.com. Let me see, what else do I have that's coming up?
Now you're sounding like an infomercial.
Oh, I'm trying to go as fast as I can. Albino Golden Child. We're going to have Lavin Purple Golden Child 100% het snows coming up. Ooh, that would be a really good one for the anery, too. They're not going to be quite 50% Kalatoa, but it's Kalatoa and Jamp combined. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Kalatoa, Jamp, and Kayuadi combined. So they should be like super orange albino Golden Childs. So, yeah. All good stuff. Those are all coming very soon. A little bit of everything.
Ryan Hood wanted to know if you could go over your decision process, what your decision process was for this season for your breeding pairs. Is that a Rob question?
Kind of. We can sit down with Rob. What we're going to start doing is around this time, people who are on their Patreon group at the breeder level tier, we sit down and we pair a lot of that stuff up. Last year, like what we were hatching in 2020, bred in 2019, was mostly locality focused. We produced 5 of the 7 localities here in 1 year, which is fantastic. I don't know anyone else that even
Super
has
chat.
5. Super chat. So we did that the one year. It was definitely like pure locality focused. And so, woohoo, we did a ton of that. This year, we're hatching a bunch of like very, very high percentage stuff. So that should be pretty cool. Next year, we're going to try to bring a lot of new morphs to the ground. So that's new recessive morphs in Super Dwarf. You know, more of the combos that you might have seen, like the snow chinos. We need to try to make some more of those again. And bringing some of that kind of stuff to light. So there's going to be a lot of new combos and things in Super Dwarfs to come. Yeah. Okay, what's up?
How do you go about selecting adult enclosures, and at what stages do you update to larger ones? That was Ryan again.
I mean, honestly, if you have something like these little tubs, if I was to send you a new baby, and you set them up in something like this for like a quarantine process where you're just making sure they're eating, you know, and getting to know you, and you have them in there for a few months. Once they're eating well and they're established and they know you, I'd move them up to something like this. You know, this is a nice enclosure that Zilla makes these. I think they make the best front opening type, you know, like Exoterra I think is the most famous for it. I know Zoomed makes those too, but I like the Zilla ones best. They pay attention to a lot of little details, make them nice. So something like that, it's a 20-gallon long. That's what I would kind of raise them in. And depending on the bloodline, I mean, a year or 2 years in something like that, and then you could put them to the adult enclosure. And honestly, the thing I tell everybody is like, the bigger the better. You know, whatever you can do. Truth of the matter is, I don't think it's a bad thing to take a baby once it's been established eating in something very simple, something very small, and it's eating really good for you, and then you can throw it in a big enclosure as long as you have enough hides and everything else for it. And it's well established to where moving it into a big cage like that isn't going to make it nervous. The only mistake I think people make is sometimes they'll take a snake, let's say from me, and I ship it across the country, and it comes to them and they throw it in a massive place with hides made for adults and all that kind of stuff, and the snake just doesn't have any habitat that it needs, and they kind of freak out. But if you can get them established with you and let them know, and then set up a large enclosure for a small snake, you can throw them in the adults right away. I'd have like a tiny little baby quarantine rack, something like you buy from Sea Serpents for a couple $100, and start them in there, get them all set up, and then put them to the adult cages. That'd be the cheapest way to do it, instead of buying 6 cages along the way.
Anna's super chat was, how about let us see everyone's favorite, just a tiger?
I showed you a tiger. Let's go find it out. You want to see what a Madu tiger looks like? Let's check up on her. We haven't seen her lately. I'm sure you guys all remember, know, and love. So, just to give you like a for instance, this would be your 50% Kalatoa tiger. Very pretty girl. This is a holdback, so she's going to be nice. I love that black dorsal stripe and those big white side rosettes. Nice gold. So that's a 50% Kalatoa tiger. Something that, you know, most people are kind of used to seeing. And then if you can find them, we're just starting to do these more like exotic crosses because these localities are rare. But this is a 50% Madu tiger. Look how different it looks. Again, it's got the dorsal stripe, but look at those sides. What is going on with that? So the Madus tend to be very clean, very bright, you know, and like a very reduced pattern animal. So when you make a tiger, it's almost super tiger-esque, right? But with a really funky side pattern. So that would be just a tiger. That's what I was kind of saying about some of this stuff. Like, nobody's ever seen a Karompa tiger. None have ever been made. So if you were to go and get something like one of these crazy little Karompa wild type males, they're 50% Karompa. They're not pures. But this is a great snake. I don't know how well you can see through the blood, the egg skin, but something like that would be a very, very funky animal to run into something like a tiger. Just something simple and see a completely new take on a classic gene. That's some of the best stuff with the localities, don't you think, Rob? Like, how happy were you when those Sunplaties came out?
Oh, I couldn't be happier.
Just running that crazy Kayuadi to them?
And I thought for sure I was going to keep a Sun Platy.
Right.
I ended up keeping 2 sunfires.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. So just because they were like so dark and rich, I mean, you know, I like those sunfires.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Madu, Kayuadi,
crazy. We had somebody back out on one of Rob's favorite snakes since when she was a baby, which is this girl.
My offer still stands. I will trade you one of those sunfires.
And he was gonna
say, trade
me his holdback Kayuadi Sunfire for this yearling snow female. I don't know.
I think it's
Pretty
a good
cool.
deal, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Kind of like this female.
Do it. We get 6 likes. You have to do it.
What?
6 likes.
Come on, people. 6.
6 likes and Rob gets his favorite snow. Somebody can buy it for. If anyone likes him 6,500 likes dollars worth, and you just want to PayPal it in and say this was for Rob, he owes me a super chat, you're welcome to do that. Or you could just do it for yourself. It is a yearling female snow. Anyway, what do we got? What do we got?
Let me go back over here. Hang on. Lucas Bissett said, would love to see you talk about dream setups for super dwarfs.
Well, Lucas, you saw the one episode we did with the dad and the son. We sat down at Starbucks and we sketched it out. And everyone's like, oh, I want an update. I want to see that cage. And it never came through. But I want, go take a look at some of the images. Just do a Google image search of, mangrove beaches. There's a whole bunch of, mangroves basically growing out of coral reef. And that coral makes, caves and stuff that these animals live in the wild. So between having, that's what we mean when they're arboreal, they climb. It's not like a green tree python. It's more like a mamba or something where they're gliding across all these horizontal branches, like mangrove roots. If you think about it, you've got the roots, the trunk, and then another set of horizontal branches with mangroves up in the tops of the trees. So they're just cruising across there and moving along because there's water and coral and everything else that's a little bit harder to move along on the ground. So I would love to have a tank that's coral sides, mangrove style branches, maybe a little hide in there out of some coral stuff. And if we're going dream tank, limitless funding on this kind of cage, I think it would be cool to have a giant round cage with actually water down below with the little archer fish and a little brackish puffer fish and mud skippers and stuff like that. Man, a whole, fiddler crabs and everything, a whole brackish community down below. And then the mangroves going up with the tree structure and everything in the center. And then maybe some caves that were attached to the sides so you could look in hides and things like that. That would be sick. That's what I would like to do. I think it'd be pretty fun.
That was a couple people had commented. Alex Dillon had said he wanted to see it live stream focused on enclosures.
Yeah, well, I almost talked about stuff I'm not supposed to talk about. We're planning some new enclosures right now, actually. It's very exciting. So, but honestly, guys, I mean, Super Dwarf Retics are the ones to be a display cage. Green tree pythons are great if you want something pretty and to have a living picture in a frame. They're probably the best. But if you want an animal that's interactive, that watches you, or that cruises around and plays everywhere and explores everything, you gotta get a Super Dwarf. They're gonna use everything that you give them. So make a big, giant enclosure that's as cool as you can think to make it, and they'll watch it. If you guys haven't seen it, you can, as soon as this video is done, look up Lori Torrini, Loritorrini. She does animal behavior stuff. She has a Super Dwarf from us named Tau Chetty, and he's in this massive, very enriched enclosure that has all this kind of stuff, and she target trains him and does all kinds of amazing things with this guy and shows how a retic will utilize all these different things. If you haven't seen her videos, man, they're just packed with awesome behavioral information.
Someone asked, how big does a Super Dwarf get?
How big, if you actually type that in the search bar and pull it up, it would be a couple of videos from us on this subject. But, we literally have had our smallest female lay at 1,325 grams this year. That's a new record. Most of them are more the 2,500 to 3,500 gram range when they're laying eggs for the pure super dwarf localities.
What does that mean for people who don't talk in grams?
Grams, ball python, like bull snake. You start thinking about breeding a ball python at about 1,200 grams, and we have reticulated pythons breeding at 1,300 grams. So they're like on the small ball python up to like like a boa constrictor. So, but if you're talking about morphs, now you're saying crosses, and that's when you really want to get from a good breeder to make sure they know what they're doing and they're doing quality, like
Super
selective
chat.
breeding for size. Oh, nothing, guys. 412-925-1933. Okay, super chat. Let's do it.
Just Chris Geary's waving hi.
What, Chris? Come on. Hi. So, yeah, Chris likes those little females, snakes. Next.
Tristan said sliding doors versus swinging door.
I like the swing
I wanna
outdoors.
know all
I
about
hate the swing
enclosures.
down doors. If you swing the doors down towards you, you like funnel a snake and its food strike at your face. So a swing outdoor, like cabinet style or whatever, would be the way to go. The sliding doors are okay, but the tracks have a bunch of sharp edges and stuff, and the snakes just always damage themselves on that. So you have design flaws with the glass bypass doors. Although they do look pretty, I like the swing outdoors. I think they're a lot easier to clean, much easier to navigate around. That's what I would do. Bob Evans says, get the poster. I don't think we have one hanging up here, but if you go on reachreptiles.com, we do have a poster with all 7 of the dwarf and super dwarf localities on it. Sizes, like average, typical adult sizes, I would say, to relative to humans and other localities. It's pretty cool. It's fun for me to see all of them depicted on there.
Anna says, do you or Rob have any outside snake setups? Like
outdoors?
Yes, it says outside.
No, that's terrifying when you live in Pittsburgh. That's how you end up with alligators in the Allegheny. No, I have had stuff like that when I was in Southern California, but it was all like native species and things like that. That would be something that'd be really fun to play with. I wanted to do, there were chameleon breeders back in the 90s that did this. I thought it would be cool with super dwarfs, where they had like a screen side on one, and they would put...
Bob Evans said it snowed today. It did.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, crazy. But if you had like a room that had a bunch of like roll-up garage doors, and you had kind of screen enclosures that when that south-facing light hit, you could roll the garage doors up and let all your animals have like some natural airflow and light and everything like that, would be great. But usually in the summertime, I mean, we have like a big screen thing we put on here so the flies don't get in, and we just crack all the doors open and let everybody have some fresh air. Especially, I love doing that during like thunderstorms and stuff. The snakes get super active and curious. That's really cool.
Super chat.
Oh my gosh. Anything? Guys, help me out. Help me out. All right, what's up?
That was Chris19. If I bug you for a couple photos of my ROR Pure Kayuadi's parents, is that an easy request, or are they buried behind an old busted hard drive somewhere?
Probably both. Let me see. I think I can probably... You're talking about the Pure Kayuadis from us from last year,
If
I
they
assume.
email us, you could probably reply there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get you pictures of the parents. I gotta find them. Go ahead. Next
I
question.
said yes. We got 5 minutes left.
Email info@reachreptiles.com. I'll get them for you if I don't have them.
And it says, how long can a social adult snake, SD or house snake, safely interact with its keeper in an average home environment, assuming temps are around 70s?
Oh, you mean like
I
you
guess
take it
how
outside
long
to
can
play
you
it
take
at
it out?
70
Yeah.
degrees? I mean, I don't know. A long time. They're actually very cold tolerant. If you think about living on an island, like when you go to the beach, you could live in a really hot place. But when you're down at the beach, it gets very cold. So they're super tolerant of that. If you're talking about 70s, that's not a problem. You could have them. I probably wouldn't have them out all day. Okay, check it out. This is Mama Kayuadi. Evan's like, oh, wow, now that I see her and I love her, I want to get some from that female, except this female, unfortunately, has passed away. Check out the enclosure. This is Doc Murdoch's old setups. Did bioactive. with these. It was crazy. I was like looking at my bedroom in the 90s. That's mom. I'll have dad in here somewhere for you. He's in my dusty old hard drive. What else you got for me, Jess?
Let's see.
Did we actually finish all the... Oh,
No.
I thought we finished on time.
Have you noticed a difference in both strength and body composition between animals that were raised in larger and taller enclosures compared to more minimal caging?
Yes,
That's
very
a good
much.
question.
100%. Taller enclosures. And, I mean, it's giving them tall enclosures and climbing stuff and everything has really helped us a ton with, like, females that would get egg bound and stuff like that. People kind of just throw their hands up and be like, superdors are too hard. But the truth of the matter is they have proportionally gigantic eggs. So they have to be very physically fit to lay those successfully, which is why, like back in the day, people would import them. They'd breed them successfully about 1, 2, 3 years and then quit because they became obese after that point in time. I'm having a hard time finding Dad Kayuadi on here.
I wonder why.
So yes, make them big, tall, beautiful cages, and you will be happy. And it makes a huge noticeable difference.
I think we did get them all.
Woohoo! All right.
If I missed your question,
all the time we
comment
have
on
this
the
week.
post
If
tomorrow.
you guys felt unheard this week and you're like, oh, stupid Garrett, you got a super chat to be his friend, that's lame.
I say stupid Garrett every week.
She does. Then I pay her to do it. It's weird. Very strange. Anyway, if you want to get it for free, then hop on the community post tomorrow. Ask all your questions for next week. We'll try to get to them just the way we did here. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for your support. We love you guys, and we'll catch you next time.